Hey guys, I'm John P.
And I'm Callie Lewis. Welcome back to Talk Mobile 2013. We're gearing up for a great week of security and enterprise talk. Now I know that sounds a little boring.
Not to me.
But not at all. It's going to be an exciting conversation. So, why does security matter in this day and age?
Well, that is a good question. I mean, do we even care about trying to protect our mobile data? Why? What has anybody got to protect anyway?
Inside my email is God knows what, and especially with the way email works now. You don't necessarily throw things away like you used to, right? So if you can get to my email, you can get to everything. Don't bother trying. You can get enough information out of somebody's email about their life, who their mother's maiden name, things like that, and start piecing together ways to more socially hack a password.
What scares me the most is that password entry on mobile is still not great. We keep hearing about biometrics and stuff, but they're harder to type, there's harder to copy and paste on some devices. So people have made shorter, easier passwords, and then you get their mobile device and it's way easier to get into than if you were at their computer.
And I don't think even most people use a password or any kind of lock on their device.
Yeah, how many of you have your phone locked? When people pick it up, it's locked.
I do from time to time, but
when I
not
travel
always.
sometimes.
You don't?
I don't.
I do.
You don't?
I have nothing.
You don't? So if I stole your phones,
You have
your
a lot of access.
lives are ruined. Because the first thing I would do if I stole your phone is I would immediately log in and change the passwords to all of your things, which would give me hours
But
of
I would
head
log
start.
into BlackBerry Protect online the second I realized it was misplaced.
Yeah, but
Geolocate
it may
and come
be
beat
a
you up and
while
wipe the phone in the meantime.
before you realize it.
By the
20
time,
seconds.
but That's
why I don't use it.
not in my
It's
hand
never out of
anymore.
sight.
Think about it. You think about,
It's
for
scary.
example, if I stole an iPhone, the last thing I want is the iPhone. Those are cheap.
All right.
Exactly.
It has an iPhone or BlackBerry, or even Android. I don't know about Microsoft. They all have services where you can locate the
Right.
phone
Yeah.
or wipe it. But by the time you do, I already changed your password to Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, or Google in general, etc., and threw away the phone. So now you got a problem. You're not going to locate me, and you can't get into any of your services.
Okay, but that's one way to secure it, the password on the mobile device. But is it enough? Is there more that we can do?
I think there is, and there's a technology I think we'll see probably come more popular this year. YubiKey is one. It's a hardware authentication system. It's basically a mini USB thing that you kind of plug into a computer, and it generates a long random password and acts as a secondary authentication. How that would work on mobile though, since we don't have USB, it works through NFC. So they have an NFC version or RFID, and you would just hold it to the back of the device. And you would need both things in order to access the passwords in certain
I
accounts.
think one of the challenges today too is the sheer volume of gadgets we own that have a lot of logins in them, and literally you start to forget what's where and what's what. When you only had your one desktop computer and you password protected it, you were kind of safe. But now, especially for guys like us, you have so many things. I finally turned on Gmail two-step authentication,
Right.
which is great because it's kind of annoying sometimes
It
if
is.
you
It
don't have
definitely
your right SIM card in your phone.
Or they send you tokens that are invalid.
Or you get invoked. Yeah, exactly. But I feel much more secure knowing it's on, that I won't.
All my laptops have this secondary key, but if I were to lose it, there are ways to recover things, but basically, if you got my laptop, there would be no way to access that information.
Apple bought a company called Authentec that does biometric authentication. And there's these rumors that the home button is going to suddenly read your fingerprints. But what worries me is we've spoken about like Twitter phishing. What if someone manages to get my fingerprint digitally? I can't change my finger the way I changed my password. So now
But that's why you're
compromised.
looking at multi-point. So
Yeah.
it's fingerprint plus password. It's not
Or-
one or the other. It's both.
And the fingerprint scanners are getting more advanced. I mean, that was a big issue years ago. Now it can detect the blood vessels to make sure that it's actually a human and not like a picture.
They'll just take my hand, Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about,
Minority Report.
instead of just ways that we secure things, let's talk about financial transactions. I mean, in today's world, are they actually safe?
I hope so. I mean, I use PayPal a lot. And
Yeah.
there's issues with PayPal that's aside from this issue, but we use it to send money back and forth all the time, and you're pushing a button, it goes off into the ether, and you don't know.
It's interesting because it's to me it's almost a little generational still too, where I put a lot of faith that everything is secure when it comes to online transactions and everything else. You know, I'll tell my mom to go buy something online. She still doesn't want to give her credit card out online.
I put a lot of faith in it as well, but while we were here in New York, I got a call from American Express saying my credit card's been used and they had to send me a new one.
They
Now,
had to cancel her credit card.
thank goodness they picked up on it, but you know, I mean, I have no freaking clue how it happened
Is
or
it
where
any
it came
more or
from.
less secure than somebody at a restaurant who swipes your credit card? And
Right.
this has been an interesting
Exactly.
thing as we've all traveled the world, seeing how they handle transactions like that in different countries.
Mm-hmm.
In Europe, they come and they swipe it right in front of you.
Right.
Canada too.
Canada. In the U.S., they take your card, do God knows what with it, and then
Right.
bring it back. So
Get some NFC payments going.
Yeah, well,
And how secure is
let's-
NFC though?
Yeah.
I mean, if someone stole your phone, they
But
can
you
just
pair it up with a password.
Right.
Multi-point.
All right, well, what do you guys do to keep yourselves safe from hacking and all sorts of things out there, all sorts of dangers?
You guys come back tomorrow. We've got more questions and more security talk.
Indeed. Leave a comment below. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm Callie Lewis.
I'm John P. Bye-bye.